Hello there. What I would like to talk about today is C Sharp WebView2. Here I have open Visual Studio's WPF application. We have to download the dependencies for the WebView2 in order for it to run. What you have to do is you have to go to your tools and go to NuGet package, then go to manage NuGet packages. Once you have it open, type in the search WebView2, and what you would see is from Microsoft this dependency. Go ahead and click it and install it into your application. Just to note that the WebView runtime was installed into Edge of April of 2021. What this means is that you will be able to run it on other devices. What you would do is you would have to open up the main window XAML page for the designer, and opening up your toolbox, you would then be able to see that you have a bunch of controls. Well, what we are looking for is the WebView2 controller, and if you want this WebView2 controller to take up the entire real estate, drag it in, drop it, what you would need to do is to now give it a name. It'll be a lot easier for you to find it later when you are ready to use it. Then build the project, and once you've built it, now that we have our WebView2 up and ready to go, we can now begin the process of developing in the WebView2. Now we have to go to the backcode in order for us to apply what we need to in order to make this work. Open up the XAML, and inside of the XAML there is a .cs file in there. We need to make sure that the main window loads. So we have to call the loaded event listener and create a main window loaded function. Now we're going to have to create an asynchronous function. Once you've created your asynchronous function, you want to call it inside of the unloaded function. Call your asynchronous function from inside of the main window. So at this point, we can create the path for where our HTML file is going to reside. We're going to then right click on debug, include in project, and then from there we can then click add and then click new item, and then from here we're going to look for HTML, and then right here you're going to type the name of your HTML. My page.html is what I'm in mine, and we're going to click add. Once you have the file inside of the debug folder, we're going to go ahead and open it, and from here we're just going to type in a p tag, and we're going to say here in HTML local file. Save that, and from that point we can begin to find the file and find the location of it inside of the .cs file. I'm going to equal it into system.io .path.combine, and then we're going to grab the environment dot current directory, and then we're going to put a comma into the parameters and grab the my page.html, whatever you want to call it, whatever you have called it. And we want to see exactly where this path is taking us. So I'm going to use debug.writeLine, and then I'm going to pass in path. And when we run this, we will get the window that opens up, and we'll see down here that we have the current directory of the path that leads to the bin debug and to the folder, to the HTML. So now at this point, we can then call the WebView controller, the name that we called it, and then we can set the source to equal into a new URI and pass in the path. And as you can see here, we have our local file running inside of our Webview2. And with this, you are actually running Edge in the background of your application. When you do the inspect, you'll see that it's actually an HTML page that is running. And with that, you can use your application with a updated version of Edge as the base browser. And at this point, you can do things such as getting repositories or CDNs from Bootstrap. And you can also add in local JavaScript files that you would add into your debug. I have created a JavaScript file that is in the same directory as debug. You can structure it however you want. If you wanted to add a JS folder or a CSS folder for your CSS. And from that point, if I do an alert and I say, okay, here from script, and then I run this application, we should get an alert that pops up just like if you were working in a browser. Now, there is one issue that I found that would cause some problems. And that is if you're trying to use a module script. If you don't know what script is, module scripts are scripts that are contained within its own, you could say, universe. And from here, we have our module script that we're going to create. The type equals into module. And then we're going to add the source. And I have created module script.js. And from here, we can then run the script that I've created, and I've added in an alert to show that the script is running. So if we run this, we do not see an alert. And if we did inspection, we will have an error. And as you can see, it's saying that the access to the file is blocked by CORS policy. And the CORS origin requests are only supported with protocols such as HTTP, data, and such and such and such. So how do we get past this? And I will tell you in the next episode how to get past CORS. And you have a great, wonderful, awesome, and amazing adventure.